Awesome. Okay, hi folks, welcome. It's great to see everyone. Oh, welcome to the stream. So as a recap, we have started on a cron expression parser. Hopefully it will involve a sort of scheduling component, but we've been focusing on the front end, being able to parse cron string expressions. So last time we got as far as parsing wildcard expressions with the expectation that there are 6 in the cron stream. And we have some options ahead of us today. One, with Stu around, we can continue working with the Stu Uniparsec library and probably have more success because we have the library author, the foremost expert, with us here today. Or I went and hurriedly also ported over some functionality into the parser that Paul and I wrote because I understand generally how it works. So what would we like to do today? We could survey more of like, see a comparative approach of the two parsers. We could continue work on with the Uniparsec library. Any folks have a preference? Because as if
So initially, comparing and contrasting, I guess the main difference is that Uniparsec uses its own ability. Does it use one ability, or is it a set of abilities to do its job?
The parser itself is really just like it's like a monadic or applicative parser that you would find in many different copies of in a functional programming library as a just a parser combinator library. It does use one ability I did create a tokens ability for the tokenizer, which is an optional part of the parser, is a tokenization step. And that I did use an ability which I don't. Looking back, I really didn't need to. It really is just the ability is just a combination of both stream, ask, and exception. And so I could have really just used those. I'm not sure. That tokens one is what I'm talking about. That's the one that's the only ability. But so otherwise, it's really just a straight up parser combinator library. In contrast, the one that Paul and Rebecca did is an ability based one. So I'm more interested in seeing that one, honestly. But mostly because I think I wrote the other one the other way, mainly because I did need a real working parser at the time, and the thing I was really focusing on was making sure I wanted to specifically do the tokenization thing, because in there is where I'm making some very explicit decisions in order to make sure I'm doing a really good tracking of where in the source we were, and that's the way I knew how to do it, was to basically port megaparsec.
Cool. Okay. So it sounds like we have one vote for potentially taking a look at the different parser on share, which I'm totally good with. I've been trying to make some changes in it as well. I haven't gotten through to it, so it'd be good to kind of revisit. So, yeah, let's take a quick tour of the parser. I added a README finally. So perhaps ironically, I am the slowest to document the library. But this parser under RLMark public parsing uses an ability for the parsing. And it does that by kind of taking note of where it is in the input string and running sort of basic kind of tiny parsers against the input string. So I have this example here where we kind of parse S expressions like into a tree data structure. So the sort of topmost API of it is this parse.run function. Parse.run is an ability handler. So the ability is called parse. The only type variable here is just an error type that you can represent yourself. This is the first input is the parser itself, so that's like your parser combinator. So like I'm an open paren, I'm a close paren, or I'm a input text, or alphanumeric text. And then the final argument is the texture that you're parsing. So top level. The thing that you will need to do to parse something successfully, and then you don't need to retain the result, is this text bang function. So that's useful for sort of structural things like open parens and close parens. For sets of characters, we've got take out, these take while or take until, as well as skip while and skip until. So take takes it, skip says, I don't need this input right now. And then we've got a set of combinators like between, or, and many, which are sort of the standard kind of parser combinator functions. And then there's also an optional parser. So it says, if I succeed, some; if I don't succeed, none. The error reporting of this does include some position information. So this is a zero-base indexed, just character count of where you are in the input string. Is that all good? Any questions there? Cool. If you want, you can take a look at the actual ability. It's going to change in the near future to use a more developed text parsing API underneath, but this is the actual ability. These unmark, reset, mark, and offset things are just internal utilities. Same with labels, internal implementation details. Okay, cool. Y'all can take a look at this. I have already pulled this down into the cron library. So we'll return to the Visual Studio workspace. Oh, and I'll get a live share started so folks can contribute. And I will plunk it in the chat. Okay. Okay, cool. So to bring our sort of parsing experience up to parity with the work that we had done, we had successfully parsed a wildcard cron expression, and we had written an end of string parser for Stu's library, and I've started working on adding one for the parsability library, because it didn't actually have one yet. So I think that could be a good, an interesting experiment. Okay, yes, so here's the implementation with my parser. The wildcard expression, it's expecting you can parse this asterisk, and then if it's successful, we can just create an instance of this sort of object. And for the parse sort of overall cron expression, we're expecting some field type space, field type space, field type space. We can expand this kind of wildcard parser to be a parser for the entire field type. For now, I've just called it wildcard, but I think that's the plan, right? Is to do an OR parser for wildcard, or a step expression, or a numeric expression, and I think that'll get us where we need to go. Okay, so with that in mind, one thing that I would love is for this one to fail. This parse.run with so many wildcards, too many. So I have already tried to do something really simple, which is like, we just expect text to be empty, and that does not work. So we got to figure something else slightly more clever out. So I was trying to do something slightly closer to using the ability constructors themselves. So I was thinking, okay, maybe I could try and like take the current offset, try to take another character, try take returns in either. It returns in either of right of something or left of failure. And I was going to say, if try take succeeds, like it can continue taking stuff, actually I want it to fail. And if it fails, I kind of want it to succeed. If it fails with like a left value. So that's the kind of logic I was expecting here. So check n should return an either of some sort of error. Figure that out. Or unit. Yeah, this. So now I kind of want to test this. So we can do that really quickly. Did someone have a question? Okay, did this? Where are we? Nope. It succeeded. Okay. So maybe that's not working.
Wait, you tried it with the empty string and it worked.
Oh wait,
Right.
it did? Am I think I just have too much output that's
Yeah, line 101 there. It did work. It gave you a right for end of string, wasn't that what you want?
Oh, did it work?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, we will.
Try running
Okay.
it now with when it's not an empty string. It should fail, right?
Yeah, okay. I think my UCM froze, so sorry. Should I kill it? Just oh,
Make sure it's wide enough. It gets a little bit weird if it's not wide enough.
yeah, I think it there's something happening with like VS Code itself where like this bar shouldn't be there. Okay.
I guess it's broken now.
Okay. Let's try that again. Okay.
Yep. Left.
Look at this. Yes, we've got an end of string parser. Does anyone have any questions about how that worked?
So I have one. I think what this needs to do is so in the failure case, you want to backtrack to the you want to untake that character. So I think you could just wrap it in an attempt, which is another combinator, or maybe we called it try. I can't remember, but
Oh, find tries.
I think it is try.
or there's a try
Oh.
bang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
try bang will like increment. It'll try and do something, and if it fails, it'll backtrack. Okay.
Yeah, because you don't want to consume that one character if it does, if you're not at the end.
Gotcha. So just
I think you could just put try bang before the do, and then that would do it.
let's wrote a try bang. Like, jeez. Okay.
Oh, sorry, no, that forces it. So you gotta.
You could,
Well, you can maybe introduce try that doesn't. If you just look at the signature of try, you'll see. You'll see.
do you need to do try do?
Yeah,
Oh, jeez. All right.
I'm
Try.
surprised it's not just a try. But try bang forces the thunk, but you want to return a thunk.
So do try do.
Yeah.
Can I do?
Or yeah, this is probably
This.
better.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, it's got to be like try. You know, you got to name a parser.
Oh, all of this is the. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say
Are you gonna eat the red beans?
inner. Try, and string. But this one has to be forced, yeah? Second argument.
Well,
Oh,
if you're gonna force it, it would just be try bang, right?
so try under string is a delayed computation. Try returns a delayed computation, but then this one overall is delayed.
Yeah, I think it's just regular try in front of that do, and then
So
well,
back to this.
Yeah, but get rid of the
yeah,
exclamation.
but get rid of the bang.
Oh, regular try.
Yeah, and then
And then no do.
oh, well, you still need the do, but
Yeah, you still need to do.
yeah.
Let's go play it now.
But you're I think your try is not.
Oh, does it think it's a remote dot
Yeah.
try?
Yeah,
my
or
dot
just
try.
give a signature to try or implement it.
Or write my parser dot try. No, I think
Yeah.
it's getting the wrong try.
Just my parser dot try. Okay, now it's mad because.
So it doesn't know. So try the regular try without the bang it's not correct. So it I don't. It's inferring it because it's still type checks, but it has the wrong type. So then it is
Yeah,
giving you that error. But
probably if you didn't write it point free. I'm not sure.
yeah, I think you can't write it point free.
Oh.
You can, but you have to give it a signature. Well, which is what you're doing.
What specifically was it not able to infer? Was it that G for the list of like other ability?
I think it's going to get a widely. I think the input type is going to be completely I'm not sure. Something variance, covariance, something.
Let's see. Oh, does the input to try also need to be delayed? So try takes a delayed parser ability.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So now try is happy, and now up my parser try says I found a type of value either parse error unit, and I expect it to find unit.
Yeah, we might want to add another. I don't know. We want something that gets rid of the either, or puts the because tries returning an either, so it's got to like.
Okay.
You could just convert the failures back to parse.fail.
Okay.
There's a re-raise for that. So I think perhaps you can put the re-raise bang before the my parser try.
Oh, just do it all in one? Okay.
Is that right? And then we're going to get into it needing to be we'll see.
Re-raise. Da, 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 da. No. Parse dot re-raise. Not that. Oh, okay. Gosh, I need to turn off my spell check. It's for writing docs where the red squigglies on failure becomes really important, but now it just makes me think that it's not compiling. Okay, let's see. Up, parser, end of string. Let's see, does it still succeed? It does. And this one. Okay, great. And the position offset is 0, which is what we want. It's not incrementing that offset. Okay, cool. Very cool. So now, in theory, we should be able to just integrate this end of string into this parse cron expression, and all will be well in the world. Yes. Okay. So now our too many wildcards is failed, which is awesome.
Cool. Good job, man.
Yeah, look, we have done we can parse. If you want to run something every second of every minute of every day, you're golden. So I think we should change this wildcard character to maybe just accept numbers too. So like either you're a wildcard or you're a number. That would be something we can do as a next step. I think that'd be a pretty quick win. Because it's already trying to parse into a field type, we can just add a new field type. So I think for that we'll need the or.
You probably don't want to change the wildcard definition, though. You probably want to introduce something else that is something or wildcard, right?
Yeah, I was thinking of adding everything to wildcard and then renaming wildcard, but no. Stu says
Well-
no. Stu has some secret information.
Fine, but you remember the little triangle thing that we talk about when you just make sure you do it in 2 different steps. It's better not to. You know what I'm talking about.
Right. Oh, for the stream slash posterity, will you explain kind of what the issue is that you have run into?
Well, if you go, and there is a little bit of a gotcha there, is that if you do it, if you go down the road that she was, which is implement wildcard, start changing wildcard, if you in one step then both rename it and reintroduce another thing called wildcard, you'll end up where Unison thinks you're trying to both. Unison does something funny with the patch files where you end up kind of creating a. It's not a loop. Yeah, it is a loop, I think, where it thinks you want to replace wildcard with the new definition, and you want to replace that old definition with wildcard. So it's okay. You just need to make sure you do the rename and the introduction of the new thing in 2 different steps. But I would recommend just introducing the new term now. That
Okay. I think that we should rely on Stu's wisdom here, because Stu, if anyone, has run into some of the weird edges of the UCM system. So, okay, let's do field type parser. We'll just call it field type. Okay, so field type, you are going to be an or parser of wildcard, or some other thing which we'll call, actually I think I might have a numeric parser. Let's just see. Oh. Okay.
Also, do we have an ORs parser where you can give it a list?
Oh, that is something we don't have. We should write that. We should write a little combinator. do up dot parser dot parse dot ors. Okay, so that. Oh, this is going to take a. Ooh, is it a list of delayed parsers
Yep.
or a delayed list of
Yeah.
parsers?
You can't really write anything
Yeah,
about
it's gotta be a
arrow.
list of delayed parsers.
Yeah,
The other one doesn't.
it doesn't make
That's,
sense. Yeah,
that doesn't make sense.
right. Okay.
Yeah, I'm also curious. I've hit some issues. And anyway, you should be able to allow a G here as well as as well as the parsability. But I'm not sure if it's gonna
Should that
so
be?
each.
It would go alongside. It would be a sibling of parse error. It would be parse error comma G, and then you'd have to stick it on this next arrow.
Okay, so just so I'm perfectly clear, I get why for each of these individual parsers, there could be another effect happening. Okay,
For example, pretend that you wrote a parser that logs something while it's parsing. That's where like the logability would go.
right. So it's not on the overall list, it's on the individual parsers that the list is capturing. Okay.
Yeah, or somehow you have a parser that's, God forbid, doing I/O while it's parsing.
Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna work too well with the sort of variance limitations, but
Now here, I believe you need to put it actually. The G wouldn't go here. The G would go on that arrow before the delay. It would go
no,
there.
I
Yeah.
don't think that's right.
No.
No.
Oh, right. No, no. Yeah, you're right. So, right. If you need effect during the parser, then the effect will be during the par. Okay, that makes sense. Not when we're doing the or. It'll do when we're parsing still.
Okay. Okay. So we want to run these in an or. Yeah? Yeah. And we should start at the head, start at the first. Can we just do like each list for each?
No, because you don't want to try each one. You want to go until you find one that works. Right. So you're going to have to destructure the list until and try each parser wrapped in try.
There's something like collect first.
Oh,
Find.
let's see. There might be find. Yeah, we could try list.find.
I think you could also just do a fold right over the list with or. That would be fine.
Fold right or
Yeah, fold right over the list. So it's like
you start at the last element of the list.
Well, no, you're still going to examine the first parser. It's just the associativity. Like, because the, how do I explain this?
Are you going to rely on you knowing which direction fold right works on the list? Is that weird?
I mean, isn't it about more like about the accumulator being in the right spot, the operation?
Yes.
Or it's still like from first, I guess. I don't know.
But Paul, isn't fold right going to hit every element, which is not necessary? Shouldn't it short circuit?
Yeah, it will do that.
Huh. Okay.
Because we're going to call parser.or, which
Oh, I see. You're going to use or directly. Okay, then it might work. Well, wait. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's literally just parser.or is the first argument.
As the list dot fold right.
Yeah, that's how you're combining the parsers. It's just with parser.or.
Oh, you mean in here in the function?
No,
No.
instead of that function, the function is parser.or.
Oh, I see. You're saying, yeah. And what is the 0th element in
Fail.
this?
Or,
Fail?
Yeah, fail.
Yeah, it'd be something that just fails,
Okay.
or it's going to be a thunk that fails.
Let's see. Does this return a delayed computation or not? Oh, I don't understand why this is frozen.
Because it's not wide enough. Oh, no.
No, is that it? I'm at the bottom and it's pretty wide. Okay, well, that's fine. We're going to trust that parse.fail will do the thing. Where was I? Okay. There we go. It's weird.
Well, parse.fail takes an argument. So what's it going to fail with if none of the
Right. It takes a parse error. Oh God, I wish I could see the constructor of parse error, but fine. Parse dot error. There we go. We could do.
I think do you return the last error from the last parser? I don't know what you return if it's an empty list.
Yeah, I think it's that. You don't. Yeah. So maybe it's more like a non-empty list kind of.
Yeah.
The non-empty, so run a fold left on non-empty, or
Yeah, it's like there's not really a good zero case here. You just kind of want it to, if the last parser fails, that's becomes the failure.
gotcha.
So yeah, I guess we could use non-empty.
Or we could accept a list. Nope, maybe not. We should just accept non-empty. And non-empty is that. Non-empty dot fold right.
Yeah, is there like
Is there a reduce rate or something like that?
yeah, is there like one that doesn't make you supply the zero?
Yes, non-empty fold right does not take a zero.
It looks like it
It
does.
does with the B
Oh, it
here.
does. Oh, wait, it does. It does. You're right. Reduce. There's a reduce right.
Ah, okay. Let's do that.
Boom.
Reduce right. Second argument. Da, 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 da. This just needs to be the parsers. Right? Found an ability mismatch when checking the application.
Yeah. Well, can you just try removing the G from this function?
Yeah.
And I'm just curious if it works. Oh, also you've got the do. You've got an extra do that you don't need anymore.
Okay. Let's check that. Ooh, okay. So the G.
It might be worth trying it back now that you had it without the do.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I linked to an issue that is relevant, but
Oh.
basically this is hard. So
Okay. Okay. I trust that Dan will find the optimum solution because he is brilliant. And for now, I don't need that if you're trying to do IO in a parser, I'm sorry, I cannot help you right now. So that's
yeah,
fine.
or you can still use the just the binary or if you want. But it's just like when you're sticking them in a list like that, it's gonna struggle to anyway, that's harder.
Okay.
But yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, with that in mind, we're going to get rid of this with this G. Don't need that. And this thing here. Oh, this noun has to be a non-empty. Oh, actually, what's the constructor for non-empty? Does it take a list?
It also takes a list, so just give it an empty list. You needs one. You need to prove you have at least one in hand. So give it wild card, and then you give it the empty list.
Oh. Non-empty takes 2 arguments.
Yeah, the first one is not a list. One is just yeah. So just set it the one.
I see. Okay.
I think it has some other syntax as well. That's like
It does. There's a plus bar. You can use plus bar. Just like you would use plus colon for lists, you can use plus bar for non-empty.
Oh. Okay, that's kind of cool. That's good to know. I didn't know that. Okay.
Unfortunately, you can't use it as a pattern match, though.
Okay. Cool. Well, I feel like this should compile, but it's not. Oh, because there we go. Right. So we're going to write a numeric one. Which I might have added. If not, it'll be pretty simple. All right, I did. I did not add it yet, but we can add it. So this is going to be a parse error of nat. Okay. So I think the fastest way to do this would be to use like the char query API, which I know will change in the future, but I haven't had a chance to integrate the pattern regular expression implementation for the ability. So we're going to say parse.takewhile1. Oh, just take while. There's no take while one. And I think I'll use a char range. So the char query data type looks like you can either do one of or range. So we'll do a range from, okay, is it 0 through 9 or in the ASCII ordering table, what comes first in the numbers? Is it 1, 9, and then 0? Oh, shoot. Okay.
No, 0 through 9.
It's 0 through 9. Okay. Okay. Cool. That is a colon and not equals. Oh, this returns a... That returns text, and I don't want that. Maybe this is not... I mean, I could just use the regular text like to-nat parser and then just ignore the potential failure because we've parsed it, but that seems a bit odd. Maybe that's the best path though. Okay, so this is going to be does anyone know what our built-in text to nat function is?
I think it's just nat.fromText.
Text. There we go.
And you can just fail the parser if it returns optional.
Yeah.
But again, you want to do the backtracking. So yeah, there should probably be I would just write a combinator for this. It's like, maybe I would call it atomic or something. Where it's like, it's going to run the parser and either, succeed and consume the tokens, or it's going to fail and backtrack.
Isn't that what try is?
Well, try is also doing that, but it's returning an either. And this is like, you don't want to return the either. You literally just want to, return whatever the parser's result is. It's basically that re-raise, it's like a combination of re-raise and try.
Okay.
But it's like a fairly common thing to do that should probably just have its own combinator. It's like you sort of use that for the tokens of your sort of leaf level. Maybe atomic is not a good name, but I don't know. you can rename it later. But
We can make a decision later. The names, in theory, don't matter. Except for when they do. Oh, I actually had a question for you, Paul. So
sure.
your suggestion was to change the parse abilities constructor, like the ability constructors. So we've got skip while one, take while one, the other ones that I'm blanking on. So move them from the ability to helper functions. And this is like a really common like pattern where you would want to keep the facade of something for your consumer libraries relying on the same name of a function, but the underlying implementation changes. And that kind of buys you that safety between like the interface, right? So in Unison, my consumer library of like skip while one, I can't do that anymore, right? Like I can't kind of rely on the facade of that name hiding a change of implementation on the back end. Am I correct in kind of like understanding that difference in the Unison ecosystem?
Wait, say it one more time. Sorry.
Okay. So regular old and busted programming. My parse library, or this cron library, relies on these parser functions, say skip while one, which we know we're going to change to move off the ability and be a helper function. So like there's an in-place swap of the utility. But
Right.
my parser library in Unison, cron parser, is looking for the name skip while one. Is it, can I still kind of use that facade pattern? Because it's, skip while one is kind of disappearing.
Well, I guess it's kind of up to you as like the library author of the parse library, whether you want to, like you could literally introduce although okay, well, anyway, my thought was you could just introduce functions with those same names and signatures. And then in the patch that you publish, you could assign a mapping from the old function to the new.
Okay, so this is the case which does involve direct patch manipulation. Am I understanding that correctly? Because like I'm getting rid, from the point of view of the structural ability, I'm getting rid of those functions. So like those
Right.
things don't exist, and I am reintroducing them in a totally new hash.
Yeah, and I think it might not. Let me actually just see. So right now, patches do have this limitation that you can't map. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So, sorry, let me finish the sentence. If patches were a bit more expressive, you could just replace a constructor with an arbitrary other function. But right now, you can't do that.
Okay.
So users will just kind of have to manually upgrade.
Okay, so they would go through the merge process and they would be like, they would see a notification like, here's your to-dos. Like,
Yeah, what would they see? It's like, they would, I mean, it would be like those functions would have been deleted. Um, yeah, it would be kind of an annoying manual experience
Okay.
of updating the code.
Okay.
But
But in the future,
yeah,
it would like
in
obviously
the
this is
future, it would be super seamless.
it would be amazing. So everyone watching,
Yeah,
don't worry. But okay, I just wanted to
yeah,
make
in the
sure I
future.
understood the challenge. Like I was thinking through that, changing those ability request constructors and thinking like, oh gosh, how does that work?
Yeah. I mean, potentially you could leave the constructors there, and then just add the new constructors um, that I suggested, and then just within the handler, you might sort of implement some of the operations using the same sort of, what am I trying to say? You don't necessarily need to remove those operations from the ability. You could, if you wanted, keep them around, and then they're just going to delegate to the same, more general pattern logic.
Gotcha, gotcha. Hello, welcome to the stream. We're talking through a parsability change. Okay. Well, with that in mind, I think what I'll do is I'll take the less complicated approach for consumers of the parse library, of which there are at least two
Nice.
that I know of. And I'll keep the request constructors around for like skip while, take while, but I'll implement them in the like run function using the pattern API instead of the hand rolled functions.
Yeah, you could do that. I mean, you could still add the new. I mean, I think having the more general pattern API will be super useful. Um, and then adding new functions to an ability is in theory should be an easy upgrade for people. They could just apply a patch and it should just work.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I will attempt that later. Okay. Well, meanwhile, back on the ranch. What were we doing? Oh, we were writing this numeric parser.
Or are we going to implement atomic to do the?
Yes, that is what we were doing, in fact. We were implementing atomic. Name to be determined. Okay, so this parser is going to do the try this given parser and re-raise. Ah, Paul would like to join. Yes. Okay, let's see. Paul, where I see I don't see you in the file. Are you here? No. Wait, you're muted.
Yeah, I think so.
Wait,
Somewhere.
am I having a stroke? Like, oh, there's Paul. Okay.
Can you see me typing or?
I can
Yeah,
now.
we'll see.
Yeah, okay. Cool. Right. Okay. Paul's doing that. I was going to do
So you should be able to replace try with atomic in your thing you're doing.
atomic Q. Atomic,
Think.
do this, nat from text. So this is maybe nat. Actually, let's just do match with. Okay, so we're going to create a error representing this failure. I think we can do this one, expected char query. Oh, it takes the char query. Let's do that. And what else does it take? And the position. Okay. Oh. Okay, so the error expects the position. I need to take the position, find the position of where it is in the parse string right after I've called this parse.takewhile numeric query, right? Because then that's going to be like, I've parsed 1, 2, 3A. It's going to fail on A. And so I need the offset at that position. And then no matter what, the atomic is going to rewind it to the beginning of the string.
Yeah, although it's not gonna fail. It's not gonna fail. I feel like the only way this can fail is if the number is empty.
The number is
If
empty.
there's zero. Yeah, well, yeah, because it's not gonna read the A. If you have 1, 2, 3A, it's just gonna read the 1, 2, 3 with the take while. You know, and then it's not going to continue reading anything beyond what matches that char query.
Okay.
So the only way it can really fail is if there is 0 digits, or if there's so many digits that it doesn't fit in a nat.
Okay.
Like it's too big to fit in a nat.
Okay.
But I mean, you know, those are still things that can happen.
Certainly 0 digits.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you might want to have different
I want to take while
different
1,
errors. Yeah, you could do take while 1. That's probably
which doesn't exist. We have to implement it.
Oh.
really.
I could have sworn there is a take while 1. Let's do lib down.
Oh, there totally is.
Oh,
It's
there
just
is.
not where I was expecting it.
Yeah. The organization of this parser library.
See, some stuff is under parse and some stuff's top level.
And inexplicably, there's also a parser namespace, which I do not remember adding, but might have fat fingered that into existence. So, V2 of this parser is going to be amazing.
Okay.
It's also on an incredibly old version of base, so just pay no attention to the man behind the curtain sort of deal. But that's cool that that can work. You know, some languages that wouldn't fly. Okay, where was I? There's a challenge here with atomic, is what it is saying. The expression in red needs the abilities G361, but was only assumed to require parse of error. Did I forget a generic ability requirement somewhere in parse.try? No, that's fine. Maybe in re-raise?
Or
Wait,
where's the error?
doesn't try need the G on the arrow?
Oh, I think the problem is
No.
it doesn't know what try is. Nope. All right, just kidding. No, I don't know what the issue is.
Let's try helping it out.
You need to it's an A at the
Oh,
end. You need to
parse dot re-raised is
but that's the wrong
is
type
not allowed
signature.
to be.
You gave it the wrong type signature. On the
I
inside of the
did?
re-raise. Yeah, it should be either. It's an either in the inside of the re-raise, right?
Oh yeah, fair enough.
I also think there's a problem with parse.reraise though.
Yeah, that it's not allowing G,
Yeah.
which is
Okay.
um,
Oops. Ah, shoot. Sorry.
so
Oh,
well
re-raise.
we could just inline it. We could just say match. What about try bang? Does that have the same issue?
No, try-bang's got the G.
Try bang allows the G. Okay. Oh, or okay.
I'm adding parse.reraise up here too. And I will run an update.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, sorry.
Forget we have like a shared undo buffer,
I
which
know
is very
I've
confusing.
been hitting undo a lot, so my apologies if I have mangled anyone's beautiful code.
Uh, okay.
Okay.
So I wonder if I even need this annotation anymore. Does that do it?
It's saying I couldn't find any definitions matching the name my
It's called
parser.reraise.
parse dot, not my parser. It's parse dot re-raise. Oh no.
Okay. Cool. Oh, apparently parse.error is not right.
My parser dot parse, I guess.
Okay.
I feel like this fail with position should probably just be a helper function.
Fail with position should be a helper function.
One more
Yeah,
just
like
pulls on it for
you
you.
shouldn't have to pull out the position every time when most of the time you just want to fail with the current position.
Right.
But
Okay. Okay. We have a numeric person now.
yeah, maybe fail here. I'm trying to think of.
Yeah, that's helpful. Okay. Oh, I think the problem is that the parse error type itself expects the position. So parse.fill here can't take the error.
Oh, yeah, what's the error type look like?
We've got,
I see, it's not like kind of factored out.
yeah.
It's kind of a bummer. Okay. Well, maybe just something like, yeah, just do like this.
Fill here, parse.fill, parse.offset.
So E is just a function that you know, and then I think that'll type check. It's a function that receives the position, generates an error.
Yeah. Okay.
So as long as that position is always at the last argument, then it might just be fine.
Okay. Hello, welcome back. We've been adding a lot of very helpful parser combinators to the parsability library. Okay.
What does that library do?
This library, it's a parser combinator library. It's under rlmark.parse on Unison Share. And it uses abilities as compared to Stu's, which is, would you say it's just a more like a standard applicative style parser, or, yeah,
Sure.
okay. Okay, cool. So let's see, this error is saying first argument to fail here has type parser.position, but I expected nat to parse.error. So, Paul, as it stands, does this fail here expect another argument? For some reason that says it's a float, but I know it's not. You're muted. I don't know if you're.
Sorry. I was gonna just write a signature. This is gonna be like that, hopefully. So given a function from a position to an error, it's going to fail.
Oh, I think I see the issue. It's that parse offset produces a nat, not a position. So we need to do this, I think. Yeah? Yeah, I think.
Is there already a function for that?
No. Well, actually, let's do. Oh, it's literally just the constructor. It's just position is a thin wrapper around an offset, an index. So what should probably happen is just that offset returns a position instead of a nat. We should just make it symmetrical.
Yeah. I mean, the offset's in the ability.
Yeah. So it would change. We would change the ability request constructor. Is that okay, or
I
would it?
I wouldn't do that, but I would just introduce a helper function position.
Okay.
You just want the nat wrapped in position.
Okay. I'll do that for the second. Version 2 of the parser library, again, will be amazing. Okay, let's see. Are we in a position to parse field type? No. Oh. Yes, it's because right now this numeric parser parses into a nat, and this all need every single thing in the list needs to parse to the same type in order for it to type check. So I will change that to, this will be called numeric field type.
What do you think about, by the way, are we doing too much yak shaving on the parser library, or like should we be getting to the I mean, I don't mind doing it, but I think it's up to you. But I'm thinking of like numeric is actually a pretty general thing that could just be folded into the parse library. And then yeah, I mean, you could add a bunch of other helpers for like, you know, signed numbers and like there's potentially like a whole bunch of stuff that could be added.
I mean, I maybe like we don't have to do like signed integers or floats or anything like that, but I mean, I'm fine doing the yak shaving where it comes up in the process of parsing cron expressions. I think there are others that will inevitably come to pass. I don't, can you have a negative number in a cron expression? I don't think you can. You can't, that doesn't make sense. No.
Go back in the past and schedule
Yeah,
this.
schedule this yesterday. No. We will have to do ranges, but yeah. Yeah. I will take a to-do, which is to add better parsing primitives to the parse library. Okay, so numeric field type, I was going to write this parser. I'm just trying to remember what I called the field type at. I think I just called it single. Oops, sorry. Okay. Did this. All right, so I'm going to change one of our tests to involve a number. Where is it? Nope. Oh, it's because I didn't change the overall parser for this. That's fine. Good, I expected that. Totally. Yes. What did I call the field type parser? It's this one. Okay. So these seconds, minutes, hours, Field type, months, days a week. Field. Okay. All right. Now, moment of truth. Hey, okay, so if you want to schedule something either at any point in the day, all of the options, or at a number, we got that. Yes. Never mind that you could technically schedule something for like the 30th hour of the day. That's fine. Okay, cool. Great. And we didn't break anything else, so that's awesome. Are there other tests that we should have now? I think we're good.
Do you want to make those actually tests?
I should, shouldn't I? Last time Issa was like, yes, you should write a test, and I was like, yeah, I should. and it was helpful, so let's do that. Actually, we have always named this like that. All right. Expected equals, I'm going to copy this from over here. Okay. I'm going to do this a couple more times. Number 2. I still want test labels added to this API. But I suppose I can live with it as it is. Okay. Result equals that, and we expect this to fail with this error. Rename this to 3. All right, now these are tests, so they can be added to the code base. Has this weird situation happened for other people using the UCM? It should be thinking, but it is not upon saving the file. No. Okay.
You think it's some weird interaction with the VS Code live set?
Oh, that's an interesting theory. That could be it. I'll take another to test UCM stalling with and without live share. Yeah, because this is kind of new behavior for me as well, and I haven't seen it. Okay, cool. We've got actual tests. Awesome. Okay. We could We could try a scheduling implementation because now you can schedule something at a particular time. That would, maybe we'll save that for next time because that actually involves like I/O and stuff. Cool. Where to next? We've got our parser. We can parse single expressions. Paul, did you want to do more yak shaving?
No, go ahead.
No?
Keep
Okay.
going.
Okay. Because my thought for the remainder of the stream is we should not get into the scheduling, like actual logic, because I think that, one, I will have to read up on the I/O documentation, and two, it could take longer than 30 minutes. So I think that would be a good plan for next stream, which means we can either try and parse ranges or stepped expressions, or do yak shaving on the parser library itself. Anyone got a preference? No. I'm going to parse a range then. Ooh, yes. We have our first non-unison joiner of the live share. This is awesome. Let's see. Let me make sure, Issa, if you want to type something, let's make sure you have access to this. Yes, I see you. Awesome. Okay, good. Very cool. Yeah. Oh, do you want to drive? We can help you do the unison if you want.
I don't know if I'm quite ready to do that.
Okay, no
but
pressure.
Maybe I can be a more active participant.
Awesome. Yes, this is very exciting. Okay, cool. Let's try and do a range because I think that builds upon the parsers we've created, and then it would be awesome to have that because I think a lot of people use ranges in crons. So, we want a range parser. And I'm at line 104. Okay. So this is going to produce a field type. And it's going to make a range. That's the goal. So I think, oops. I think what we should do is try and parse a numeric and then parse a slash and then a numeric. So I'm going to use the text and look for a dash. That's not right. Okay, start and end. Can you have a space in your range? Is that allowable? No? Not allowed in the cron?
Not the next field.
Okay.
You can have a slash and then put a step argument after it.
Wait, what does that mean?
Like 1-10/2 means 13579. 1-10/3 means 147.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was either you do your step arguments or you do your range.
Star/2 means like every other.
Okay. Let me add that to this little doc thing that I've been putting together. So you said,
I mean, we don't have to support that out of the gate, but that is a thing. Like if you want to do every 5 minutes, you do star/5.
okay, so I had planned on that one with the like star over n plan, but you're saying something else, which is that you can combine stepped expressions and ranges in a cron expression.
Yeah, steps can go on either a range or a star. I don't know if they can go on a comma separated. I'll look it up.
So what? Okay, so that's a valid expression. 1 to 3 over 10. Okay, cool. Well, we'll figure that out later. Okay, I was in ranges. So I think this will create a valid range. Do we want to fail to parse at this point if like the start value is higher than the end value, or do we handle that in like a post-processing validation step?
I think you just parse it to mean none.
Parse
Just
the failure.
It's valid. It means that it's not going to do anything. I'm not sure. We can see what cron does, but
Yeah, there's a helpful cron parser online that I like to use. Okay, so if I say 10, I mean, oh, I think the red means it's not valid. So it just fails to be a thing. Okay. What's that phrase that computer people use? Is it parse, not validate? Is like the sort of design philosophy. Has anyone heard that one? No? Okay. Every once in a while, I hear like weird programming aphorisms, and I'm like, yeah, I should remember that. But then they're just totally irrelevant, so. Okay.
Be liberal in what you accept, but strict in what you something.
Is that so? I've heard that one. Is that one I should actually put in the brain space?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm officially going to sort of shift that window. I'm replacing that section in memory. Instead of parse not validate, it is be liberal in what you accept and be strict in what you produce. Okay. New tech aphorism for today.
So also on that cron tab guru website, it looks like I can put 1-3 in the day field, even though it doesn't work for hour. And it works in month.
Huh.
Wait, you can do which?
Wait, which one? In day.
Yeah, you can put like 2-1 in day, but I don't know why it doesn't work for hour. And it also works for month.
2 dash. Does it turn red? Because it's, for me, it's like really subtle, like this sort of.
Yeah, actually, if I put 1-2, that works. Maybe
Yeah.
it has some contextual learning.
Yeah, I would expect the lower range to the higher range to work. It's just like this reversal that's like.
Okay, does it have to be in strictly descending order?
Strictly what do you mean by that?
Or ascending, sorry. Okay, sorry if you guys already knew that, though.
Mm-mm.
Like, it sounds like that's well known.
No, we just played with it, and that's what we had just decided. I mean, we had just gone through.
Okay.
Based on this thing turning red, that's all we know.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I'm looking at the man page. It doesn't say anything about it.
Yeah, I haven't actually looked at the cron spec. I've just been plunking values into this website, and when the light turns red, I'm like, oh no, bad to bad, cannot do. So
I feel like this will at least be really helpful in terms of putting in cron expressions and getting useful debug output about how the parser failed.
yes, that's a very generous interpretation. Yes. Okay, so yes, I will add validation later. I'm kind of regretting that as I say that out loud, but that's okay. Okay, so we've got this range parser. I am fairly certain it will parse something into a range. Let's try and add it to our overall parser for the field type. Okay, so it compiles, which is good. And now in our happy path test, let's add a range of 1, 2, 5. Oh, and that failed. I didn't expect that. Let's take a look at what that does. Oh, so I wonder if ORs is failing as a combinator. Let's see if this works. Okay, so that is correct.
Is it something with the trailing spaces, or is that already handled somewhere?
Trailing
Oh, that,
spaces is in between the field type parsings.
yeah, okay.
So let's bring this back. Let's see where it fails in terms of the offset. Okay. It fails due to ranges at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so it's trying to parse the ranges thing. Oh. Is it because one passes the numeric parser, it consumes that, and then so it's like I've gone down this path of trying to find a numeric value, and then it finds the dash, and it's like, oh no, I've not done that, and it
Yeah. Do
fails.
you have range first? You want to make sure you try range before you try numeric.
I do not.
Because yeah, then your numeric one parses, and then it does skip white space, and there's no white space, and then it's going to try it.
Okay.
Is skip white space demand white space? Is it whatever your skip white space is? It should require at least one white space, right?
Let's double check that.
Because I think that would have, if it did, I think this would have worked the way you had it before.
Yeah, I think that's what, in my head, that's what I wanted to happen. Like, I didn't want it to be order dependent. So let's find skip white space. Let's do view 3. It is skip while, not skip while 1.
Do you want to make a skip white space 1?
I guess I could. I feel like a lot of the many versus many one convention in parser combinator libraries has never been kind to me. Because I always assume, like, I would assume many has at least one, but no. That's fine. Okay. Well, we could fix that, but the changing the order of the cron expression didn't actually help. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think here's what I think the issue is. The issue is these two parsers have a common they both start with a nat. And so and like this parser library, it's like it doesn't do any backtracking unless you tell it to. So what's happening is um, the the range parser is consuming one token, the number that starts the range, and it's like, great, I'm in this branch, I'm committed to it, and it does not allow backtracking because you haven't said that that's what you want.
Wait, doesn't I
I
thought
thought
ORs does a
Ors
try
did.
around it? Yeah, because doesn't
Um,
or has a
or
has a try?
will only try the second branch if the first branch sort of fails uncommitted.
What does uncommitted mean?
Uncommitted meaning it hasn't consumed any characters.
Oh,
Oh, oh,
And that's what you want. You don't want your parsers doing sort of like unrestricted backtracking anytime they hit a failure. You only want them to do backtracking basically when the user has said that's what they want. And that is more efficient and also gives you better, more accurate error messages.
gotcha. Okay.
So probably the fix is the range parser. It's like that first, you want to look ahead to the dash and only commit once you have seen the dash. So you just sort of like make that. Um, let me actually see if I can. Do you know what I'm saying though?
I mean,
yeah.
Maybe not.
I understand the
Well,
problem. I just don't know if I agree that the solution should go in the range parser or that, like, because that's like a user of the library needing to know the detail about off, like the mark and unmark kind of functionality. Like,
well, sure, the user needs to understand their grammar and like they need to know where backtracking is needed. Like,
okay.
that is like it's. I mean, yeah. I mean, there are parsing libraries that just sort of do unrestricted backtracking, but then that's actually like bad for efficiency and for error reporting. So it's like
Okay.
you shouldn't. You basically shouldn't do that.
Okay. So,
So yeah. So I think it would be like I think this would do it. Um, it's like we could. We don't need the slash, right? That's just kind of.
yeah, we don't need to retain the slash in order to get a range of, 0 to n.
Uh-huh. Okay, so do we have an atomic thing? I'm just pretend that we do.
I'll go find atomic and add it.
So I'm thinking something like this.
Okay, so atomic bang takes a delayed parser and return and forces it in a try.
I mean, I think you could literally just call atomic and then
Oh, right.
force it.
Yes. That is what it should do.
Okay, so now I don't know if you see how I tweaked range a bit.
Okay. So
It's like avoid committing to this branch until we've seen a dash.
okay. So
Yeah,
just to be clear, the reason why we put this in range instead of say surrounding the or parser in our parser.ors with this is for performance. Like we're making more
yeah,
fine
you
grained
don't
decisions than just making
necessarily.
or.
Yeah, like you don't necessarily want to wrap atomic around all the things in your OR because so maybe think of like yeah, I guess why is that? It's because like that's maybe sort of too much backtracking. Like for instance, suppose you have a keyword that and then you're parsing some language and you have different expressions that start with different keywords. Like basically once you've seen the opening keyword like if you should be committed to that branch like it had better be a you know have an expression and then a then and so forth.
So like once you've seen an if, there's no reason if that fails to see maybe it was a while expression or maybe it was a something else.
Right,
Because
yeah, there's
even
no
if you
reason to
see
check
anything
the
but
other
if.
ones because so there's an efficiency thing of you shouldn't even bother checking the other ones, but there's also an error reporting thing, which is that you don't want to like see the if token and then maybe it's missing a then token, but you fail and then actually backtrack and then you report that you're expecting a case keyword
Gotcha.
because you tried like one of the other possibilities and it didn't start with that keyword. And it's like, well, that was not the correct error for what actually happened.
Okay. Okay. I
So yeah, it's like
yeah.
a pretty subtle thing that is trips people up when they first start writing uh, parsers, but it is important.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, Alvaro, I remember back in the day we kept having to rewrite the like try with backtrack function for the canvas thing. So this function atomic that we've been talking about will do that. So now that we've had this discussion, I do remember running into this.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it was actually Paul that clarified it for me as well
Yeah.
at that time.
Yes. You know what? Repetition is the core of learning. So thank you, Paul. Okay. So with this change, we have added this where was that? You added atomic to
Does
range.
it work though?
Yeah, let's see. No. No. Oh, but okay. I think we need to put range first now in the list of ors because it's
Yes.
committed to
Yeah.
the other one first. Okay. See? Look. Yes, we understand. Where's that?
Also, I'm going to mention another way we could fix this, but I want to see if this works first.
Oh wait, no, I don't understand why this has failed. Range is first. Oh wait, no, but we did fold right, so
I don't know. Fold that won't matter.
It won't matter?
No, because
Right.
fold right, just it's still preserving the order of the list. It's still going to try the possibilities in that order.
But it's effectively running the parser. No, it doesn't matter? Okay.
No.
Okay. Okay. So, what is happening?
Uh,
It expected a dash at
yeah, what position is that?
okay, so it's after the 12. So it's been like, okay, I have parsed a numeric thing. Yay, go me. Now I expect a dash after the numeric thing. So should we just put atomic around the entire range parser itself?
I mean, you could, but I guess I don't.
What if you map atomic over each one of those functions that you pass in 119?
119. Oh. Like in a map here, so. Alas. No dice.
Is I don't know, is atomic like not implemented correctly somehow?
Yeah, let's check that. Where is atomic? Where do we? Okay.
It's on 130 or
Calls try.
That just returns a value. Okay, let's. Okay, I'm not going to run that one. Sorry. Okay, with this debugging, it starts at 4 and then does not finish. Okay, that's fine, I suppose. So that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess why isn't it like it makes sense that there would be that it makes sense that it's expecting that dash in the range parser. But that seems fine because we have that wrapped in atomic. I think it should just fail sort of uncommitted and allow the other parser to run.
Okay. Is there an error in try?
And maybe, I don't know, I feel like we would have noticed that before, but
if you want to make a simple little test case where you just call try range, check the offset or something.
Okay. So I think that's this one here. This calls
Or
the
maybe
range
we're
parser.
not. Oh, wait a sec. Okay, I'm looking at try and just the implementation of it. So try does not actually. Does not actually reset the state.
Oh, this sounds familiar. I feel like I ran into this.
Yeah. Okay. I guess that makes sense.
I feel like if it's prefix try, I mean, is that the right, I guess, decision for a try parse type function?
Yeah, I think it's okay. I think, yeah, it's like, it's like all try is doing is it's just giving you back an either for the result of the parser. It's not doing any backtracking.
Okay.
Although, I don't know, maybe, I guess I don't know.
So
In
do
any
we need
case,
something that does the try? Is it reset the thing that's gonna?
Yeah.
yeah, you
Do
could
we
do,
need try with reset?
Hey, Paul.
hi, somebody.
Someone's talking to Paul who's not here.
Let me see if he's on Community Day, which has 2 minutes left.
That's Arya.
Oh,
Oh.
He's on Community
I'm,
Day.
Hi, Arya. Where's Arya?
yes, he's not actually in the Discord. It was just in Gather, but just, I guess I don't know. I guess I don't know who should be responsible for resetting the state, but so maybe it should be try or maybe it should be atomic. I guess I would. I don't. Is there ever a time where you'd want to try but not reset the state when you fail?
To me, try
I mean,
implies
how is it
reset.
different than optional then? Oh, just that you get the error.
I guess the thing that you could do with try as it's currently written is you could sort of you get the error and then you could actually like see what comes next in the stream after the error and then like actually report that or fold that into your error message in some way. So it's like it sort of leaves the parser in the state wherever it is where it at the moment where it failed. And then potentially you could like grab the rest of the line or I don't know, do something fancier with error reporting.
Okay. I feel like the general like the 80% case is try with reset, and then the special case is like try commit, like I've committed to it and I maybe want to expose more details about failure.
Yeah, I think that's right. I would probably like rename the current one to like try.impl or something and then expose a And then sort of repurpose the name try to do the backtracking.
Okay. Yes. The
For now, should we do it in atomic so we could move on? Or?
so atomic. Where are you? Atomic.
130.
Thank you. Okay, so we just need to do the offset capture. Is that?
Yeah, you call mark, and then
It's got an underscore before it. But yeah,
underscore mark, and then in the failure case, you call underscore reset, and in the success case, you call underscore unmark.
Okay, so it's not just parse dot re-erase now. Now we actually have to match on this thing.
Yeah.
Oops. Oh, left E.
You're gonna do
Unmark.
parse dot.
Underscore
Oh.
unmark. And
Which
then,
takes a nat. Mark returns a nat.
thank you.
Or maybe there.
You need to reset too, I think. You want to unmark and reset?
Oh, is there a reset as well?
There is. Perhaps you wanted to call just on, I don't
Oh,
know.
sorry. Yeah, that should actually call reset.
The reset
failure.
imply unmark as well.
So if we failed, reset, underscore reset.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we still need to fail.
I don't think, but it's a raise here, right? Oh, failed. Right. Okay, that's what re-raise does. Right, perfect.
Okay, and if it's a right, we just return R. Nope, just kidding.
We still got to unmark. It's like the handler's like it's gonna keep track of these. Keeping track of these marks until you tell it not to.
Okay, let's see. What is going on with found about your value of type either? I feel like this is fine.
This needs to be try bang.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Hello, welcome to the stream. We are just wrapping up, but hopefully we have fixed a little problem with our range cron parser. All right, let's try the full thing here. Oh my gosh, did it do the thing? It worked. Okay. Yes, well, that is apt in terms of its timing. We have successfully parsed ranges, numbers, and wildcards. So we're like almost there for a real cron implementation on the parsing side. Next time we'll try scheduling, which means I will have to read the IO docs a little bit, but I think that'll be really fun. So thanks y'all for joining today. Hope y'all have a good one. Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rebecca.
Bye.